That'll be on June 11th, and that will be the reorganization of those committees, and committee meeting schedules will be set for the rest of the year. Any questions from the board? Okay.
Number 4, action items, resignation of board member.
Okay, so earlier this month, Mr. Van Landijk had verbally resigned from the board, but state statutes say that that needs to be accepted by the board. And so this is our next meeting. Mr. Van Landijk, I believe, has a written resignation speech. I don't know what to call it, but you have something that you want to verbally present. So Mr. Van Landijk, if you could come up to the podium. I believe the microphone is it a green dot on the microphone? Should be. Okay, perfect.
I can upload it.
Okay, this is my school board resignation. It's a sheet I prepared. It'll take me a little over 3 minutes to read, so please bear with me. For most of my adult working life, for 32 years I taught junior and senior high school social studies and English. Over the past 13 years I volunteered to be a teacher's helper as I followed my granddaughter through her years at Dowden Elementary School. Once she left that school, I continued to help teachers who needed help with students who needed extra attention, who were behind in their work, or had difficulty with reading, writing, or numbers. I found this activity fulfilling and encouraged others to also volunteer to help out in their classrooms. When a spot opened on the Richland School Board, I decided to run for the position. I ran as a write-in candidate and had 138 people write my difficult name down. My sincere thanks to the people who wrote in my name on the last February's 2024 spring ballot. I had hoped that I could be an asset by being an active part of the citizen-chosen local school board. As an active member of the Richland School Board for the past year and 3 months, I found that this post left an awful lot to be desired. I had unlimited access to schools, but I was unable to continue being a teacher's helper, interacting with students, was not allowed to speak to teachers, principals, custodians, or lunchroom personnel. What good is an elected school board member if they essentially are banned from any interaction with the heart of the district? I feel that the stringent chain of command concept destroyed all school board members' effectiveness as representatives of our district's taxpayers and parents. It's even gotten to the point that teachers are afraid to speak to me for fear they will be reprimanded. These were the same teachers that not long before were happy to see me, a school board member who really represented the district and saw firsthand the triumphs and tribulations of real life in our schools. As a direct result, I've come to the conclusion that my time needs to be spent in the classroom with the children where I can best use my talents. The one incident that finally made up my mind to leave the Richland School District Board was a call from the school board president. I was to meet with him in the district offices on the evening of May 14th. I had no idea what the meeting was for, but I agreed to be there. The superintendent and the board vice president were also there. At this meeting, I was read a list of my shortcomings, most of which had been resolved. I was told I could not speak for a brief 3-minute list while that was being read. I was told to shut up 4 times when questioning some of his comments, and was told that the president had the power to remove me from my 2 committee assignments on which I was to serve, and he had already done so. I didn't deserve this disrespectful treatment. I therefore submit my resignation from the Richland School Board. Respectfully, Lee Van Landijk. I'd like to thank a number of people here that were of great service to me. Scott Bailing, who helped guide me when I first came on, Neil Huntemer, who was there to help me. Sheila Troxel was there to help me. And Robin Dickman was there to help me. I'm afraid that the president had no advice except to reprimand me when I had done something wrong. So with that, I want to welcome Jill Sharp as a member of the new board. When I said that it was good to see another woman on the board, that was a compliment. That was not something that was meant to be a derogatory. It was a comment of equity. We've got 5 male members and we've got 2 female members in a community that is mostly female and a nation that is mostly female. And I think equity is something that we need to deal with, and we don't. Most of the women in the schools are female, so I'd like to see more equity. This is something I do, and I'm very happy to go back to the classroom where I think I can do the most good, and I appreciate the time I was on the board, and those of you that helped me, thank you.
Mr. Van Landijk, for your service to the board. I do recommend the board take formal action and accept the resignation as Mr. Van Landijk verbally declared.
Can I get a motion to accept Mr. Van Landijk's resignation?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Brady, second.
I can second.
Second by Mr. Miller. Any discussion? Ms. Sharp?
You're still
Aye or
okay?
nay? Yes, ma'am.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, RCPS construction change order.
Excuse me. All right, this would have normally went to our Buildings and Property Committee. Just a little background information. The board has given the district administrator the ability to approve smaller change orders in the amount of $25,000 or less. This particular one had to do with fire code compliance at the primary school with the scope of work being done in these kindergarten classrooms that are being rebuilt. That comes at a cost of just over that, $29,695.80. Normally that would go to the committee, but the committees did not meet in the month of May, so it's being brought directly to the board. So looking for a motion and approval to approve this change order as presented for fireproofing compliance with fire code at Richland Primary School.
I'll make the motion to approve the change. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Troxel. Any discussion? Mr. Duggan?
Aye.
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 Action item number 4, personnel, new hire for 25-26 students, social studies teacher.
Sure. Normally personnel would be put on consent agenda. With the light agenda, we don't have a consent item, so this is just being treated as a regular action item. There's nothing special other than we're getting a great person to join the district. Shay Clicko is being recommended to be a social studies teacher for the 25-26 school year. So looking for board action on that.
Could I get a motion to approve the hiring of Shay Clicko for the 2025-26 school year?
Can I make that motion?
Motion by Mr. Miller. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second that.
Second by Ms. Sharp. Any further discussion? Mr. Miller?
Aye.
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 I move to go into closed session pursuant to section 19.85 1C, E, and/or F as appropriate to consider employment, promotion, and compensation of employees, discussing individual employee hiring, the hiring and compensation of an administrator, the performance, placement, and/or compensation of administrators, and to discuss negotiation issues and strategies related to collective bargaining, to deliberate and/or act upon any proposed resolution to an employment matter or administration. The board may take action on these issues in closed session if necessary and appropriate. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Troxel. Any discussion? Troxel?
Aye.
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 Thank you very much. We're closed.